You ever just look up at the night sky and like feel totally overwhelmed by how many stars there are?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's incredible, isn't it? Just that vastness.
It makes you feel pretty small, right? Like we're just this tiny little speck in this huge
Yeah,
universe.
exactly.
Billions and billions of stars, right? Just in
Yeah.
our galaxy alone. But get this. This is what we're diving into today. Turns out there are actually more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way.
Really? That's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I was blown away when I read it. I mean, we're talking trillions of trees. It's from this uh, More Trees Than Stars. That's what it's called, this paper. It really makes you think differently about like abundance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, usually we think about space as being like the ultimate example of abundance, right? But this is like, whoa, right here on our own planet.
Exactly. It's like hidden abundance or something.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So how many trees are we actually talking about here?
Well, the estimate is around 3 trillion trees.
3 trillion. Like, can you even picture that?
It's hard to wrap your head around, but to put it into perspective, the Milky Way has, at most, 400 billion stars. So even at the highest estimate, there are like 7 times more trees than stars in our galaxy. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, definitely mind-boggling. But trees aren't just numbers, are they? I mean, they're not like stars just sort of sitting there. They're living things.
Right, exactly. They're dynamic organisms constantly growing, changing, interacting with the environment and with each other.
So each tree is like its own little world, really.
Yeah, exactly. Each one supports a whole ecosystem of insects, birds, all sorts of creatures. They're like these hubs of life.
And they're pretty important for us humans too, right? I mean, we need them for, well, for a lot of things.
Absolutely. Trees are essential for, well, pretty much everything. Like they absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen.
They're like the lungs of the planet.
Exactly. And that's why they're so crucial in, fighting climate change. They help regulate the global climate. They help keep things balanced.
But I know we're losing a lot of forests, aren't we? Like deforestation, all that.
Unfortunately, yeah, deforestation is a major problem. It's a huge contributor to climate change, and it also destroys habitats, leads to loss of biodiversity. Take, for example, palm oil production. It's in so many products, but to get it, they clear huge areas of rainforest.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It's really sad, all those orangutans losing their homes.
It's a tough situation. There's global demand, economic pressures, it's complicated, but it shows how our actions have these ripple effects.
Definitely. And what about the water cycle and the soil? I know the source mentions how important trees are for that too.
Oh yeah, they're crucial. Forests act like giant sponges, right? So they absorb rainfall, release it slowly. It helps regulate water flow, prevent erosion, and keep the soil healthy. They prevent nutrient depletion, runoff.
Wow, so they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
They really are. It's all interconnected.
It's amazing how it all works together. But I guess some people might say that, just focusing on the number of trees kind of misses the point. Like, it's not just about quantity, right?
You're absolutely right. It's a good point. It's not just about how many trees there are, but also about, well, the health of the forests, the diversity of species, the interconnectedness of it all. Like, you can have a lot of trees, but if they're all fragmented, separated into little islands.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's like breaking up a community.
Exactly. When forests are fragmented, it disrupts animal migration patterns, isolates populations. They become more vulnerable to threats. So the quality and connectivity of the forests is just as important as the sheer number.
So it sounds like we need to do more to protect what we have. But like how? What can people actually do to help?
Well, there are a lot of things we can do. We can support sustainable forestry practices, promote reforestation efforts, and of course we can all be more mindful of our own consumption habits. The choices we make every day, they all have an impact.
I remember that line from the paper. Trees symbolize tenacity, resilience, the interconnectedness of life. It really stuck with me.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? And I think it captures the essence of what we've been talking about.
It really makes you appreciate those trees you see every day, doesn't it? Like that oak tree down the street, it's not just a tree. It's part of this incredible system that keeps us all alive.
Exactly. And maybe that's the most important takeaway from this deep dive, just a renewed sense of wonder and, well, a sense of responsibility to protect this amazing resource.
Absolutely. We need to protect this hidden abundance all around us.
We do.
It's pretty incredible when you think about it. More trees than stars. Who knew?
Right. Amazing.
Well, thanks for joining me for this deep dive. It's been fascinating.
It's been a pleasure.
I hope everyone listening learned something new today. And maybe next time you see a tree, you'll take a moment to really appreciate it. for all it does for us.
Yeah, I hope so too. They're pretty remarkable.
They really are.